The Titans of...
I don't know.
I'm going to do it again.
Your sound is like tingy, Joe.
I know, there's something going on with this thing.
It sounds like metal.
Don't talk about his little tingy.
I'm not talking about his little tingy. I'm talking about his sound is tingy. Gosh.
Did that change it? Is that a little better? Hey guys,
He
it's
just
Joe.
started.
And he started.
Oh my
it.
gosh.
You're gonna have to talk about his little tingy again. Make it clap.
Don't talk about my tingy. My tingy.
Paris said you have to talk about your little tingy again.
So we're gonna talk about my tingy, which is like there's some kind of sound that everyone's hearing. You guys
Yes.
at home probably
You're a
don't
little
hear
tingy.
this because we have very nice audio equipment, but just to share it between us, it sounds like crap. All right, so just know that what you're hearing is not what we're hearing right now. Okay.
No, not at all.
Like, and our guest today, Anthony, say hi.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
So, yeah, he's suffering over here. He's going, oh my God, these guys, they got to get their sound together. But don't worry, it'll sound good at the end. That's my tingy.
Yeah, you're a little tingy, Joe.
Just a little bit.
Little bit. Yes.
Thanks.
Yes. So, what are we talking about today? What is the plan of attack for today?
Well, I mean, we got this coronavirus thing going on. People are getting quarantined. I'm quarantined. Anthony, you're quarantined too, right?
Essentially, yeah, we have lockdown from like a curfew from 8 to 5 in the morning, and then schools closed, jobs shut down, everything's pretty much at a stop right now.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah,
8 p.m. to 5 a.m.
yeah.
You can't leave your house.
Well, I mean, they're not. I don't think anybody's gonna like arrest you. It's not like martial law, but they're like shutting everything down. Like bars and restaurants are closed as of today, I believe. Like they can only do like delivery. No one can have more than like 10 people gathered anywhere. It's real.
That happened out here. Any place that sells food, you can either pick up the food at the door, like takeout style, or go through drive-through. You're not allowed inside the restaurant.
Yeah. It's their way of like social distancing everybody, but I don't think enough people are like really understanding why we're doing it, and they're still continuing to go on their day to day. But it's understandable too, because it's like people have jobs that they can't, work from home, and they can't, just quit. They still have bills to pay. Like your landlord's still gonna knock on your door the first of the month. It's rough out there. I don't understand how people are, gonna make it the next 2 months.
Right. Well, actually, in New York, the governor is pushing a thing where people don't have to pay rent or utilities until this whole quarantine is over. So that's actually a pretty good resolution to that issue. But that's only happening in New York, and they're actually talking about doing a fully enforced, no one leaves their home quarantine.
Yeah, but you have to be able to get the big corporations to back that as well. You're going to want them to not want money because the bills still have to be paid. So when this is all up, does that mean that you have to pay all the back rent and all the back everything that you haven't paid for the last 2 months?
Right.
Or are they just giving you a free pass on it, or is the government going to pay everybody's rent for 2 months?
Right. So one thing I heard is that the president is trying to give stimulus checks to all the families during this time, so that way if there is any kind of back pay that needs to be done, that will handle that. So there's all kinds of things going in place, but we honestly, we don't know what's going to really happen, and the government Nobody on this planet was really prepared for this kind of situation. No one really knows what to do. Everyone's trying to scramble to figure out what to do. I mean, look at Italy. Actually, believe it or not, their pollution has gone down because of their quarantine.
I saw that today.
Crazy.
But you're right. Like what we have right now, it's not that. What we have right now is unprecedented. Like we've been through a number of different scares. We had the H1N1, we had swine flu, bird flu, SARS, you name it. We've been through a lot of stuff, but it's never been to the point where everybody's like kind of locked everything down, and it's been at this level. We have contingency plans. Like that's why everything's shut down right now. And we're doing our best to, actually put a stop to it, or at least, put a level out the curve as they've been talking about. But it's only been in theory that we've ever practiced it. We've never actually done it on a major scale. And Americans, unfortunately, in most first world, style countries have never seen famine, war, and things like that. So a lot of regular folks just simply, I don't think, are well equipped to really handle what's going to happen, especially if the trucks stop moving. That's really when everything's going to really be bad.
Absolutely.
I believe.
I mean, a big majority of our society is dependent on others for survival. Like, let's take Manhattan, for example. I mean, nobody there does farming, really. And no one does, it's not a farmland. It's not an area you can go hunting. Getting clean water there, if it was to get into that kind of situation, what would they do? People would be fighting to get onto the rooftop to catch rainwater. It'd be crazy.
And it's already happening. Because today I went to the supermarket because I had to get some onions. And this was the onion section.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's empty. There's 5 bags, and that's it. Like, they're already not sending the trucks because the truckers are afraid. Absolutely.
Yeah. Today I went to BJ's, and there was one of the armed, those armed security trucks there with the cops, and I go, oh, were they bringing toilet paper? It must have. But that's who was in front of BJ's. I mean, it's like, what? Like, seriously, they must have been hauling something in there because the cops had the lights on, but they let us go in. But yet there was a line.
Yeah.
They were only letting a certain amount of people go in at a time.
No, what that was about is they have a crap ton of money right now because everybody's rushed to the store to grab everything. So of course they need, like, if you were gonna pull an armored truck heist, like, now would be the time to do it. But
disclaimer: we do not fully support his decision to have an armored car heist.
Yeah, no armored car heist. But that's probably what they're thinking is, seriously, right. Oh man.
You know what they're not thinking? Nobody is probably paying attention to the fact that today's a holiday. Like St. Patrick's Day. Everybody's supposed to get annihilated or do whatever they do, but not a single person at work wore green today. Nobody was thinking about it because, the token holiday is gone, so they're not having fun. But this will start to pass. They got bigger things in the news now. My phone is blowing up while we're talking that Tom Brady's signing with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, saw that.
He's signing with the Buccaneers, and he's not even going to get to play this season.
They're already starting to report on other things that are more depressing. Because everybody in New England's gonna cry now.
Yeah. Now I also heard that they found a case in China of bird flu as well, while simultaneously Corona is going out. So that'll be fun too.
What do they just have to eat things with wings? Like, is that part of the ritual? Like, they go from bats to birds?
Yeah, well, no, I think they found it in a poultry farm like they usually do.
Why does this stuff come from China? Like, remember SARS came from over there, right? It's like, what is happening over there?
I don't know. I've never been, so I can't tell you.
There's probably a combination of things, and I definitely am not an expert on China, but I mean, I do know from what I know, like, they have a huge population, so it's probably very densely populated. So one person gets sick, it's very easy to transfer it to your neighbor, and then so on and so forth. And then, bat soup and things like that, things that you probably shouldn't be eating. Like, those are probably some other issues, that maybe now they might catch on a little bit. Like, hey, we should probably like watch what we're eating, not just eat everything.
Yeah, I mean it's getting crazy out here, though. I mean, I just can't believe it got to this point where they're telling people that you have to be indoors by 8 o'clock. I remember the blackout. Who remembers the blackout in, like, what was it, 99, 2000, whatever it was? Remember, it was like the whole East Coast grid went. You guys don't remember that?
I don't remember of that.
I was still young.
Yeah,
man.
you were pretty young at that time. But Ben, we were, this was at Mike's house. So there was like 30 of us staying at Mike's house because there was no power anywhere in like New York, New Jersey, I think like all the way through Virginia and all the way through Connecticut. There was no power anywhere. It all went out. And it was like that for a couple of days. People were talking about declaring martial law. They said everyone had to be in their homes, but nothing really happened. It was just the power went back on and everything went back to normal.
Yeah,
I think we were all living at Mike's house at that time, so
Yeah.
I don't think we were going anywhere anyway.
No, I remember we were making all these jokes about how we were like crammed into there was like 30 something people crammed into this one living room just sleeping there together. Making all kinds of jokes about it. Mexican jokes.
But yeah,
You want to
man,
go
like you
there,
said,
Joe? That's not the time to go there.
We could go there. Well, I don't know. It was the 90s. We could have went there back then. It was okay.
Yeah.
I think especially
Yeah,
since...
Yeah, nothing was recorded, so you can't get canceled.
That's right.
Exactly.
You can't prove it really happened. Okay, so so right now, some people are getting desperate because they're not working, they're not getting any income, and they're not really sure what they can do. A lot of people most Americans are unprepared for this kind of situation. People don't have money set aside. Some people can work from home. Right, like there's some people who do like work on the computer and stuff like that. There's some people who do phone sales and stuff like that. So it does make it a little easier for other people to work at home. But like if a guy's like a bartender, he's got no job right now.
No, yeah, they're shutting down. I actually was just looking at a couple posts from some other friends of mine on Facebook where they're just like, yeah, they closed my job indefinitely. Like they're not planning on opening. Like,
well, even if they were opening, even if the bars and stuff were opening, they still only get paid $2 an hour. If the people aren't coming, it's not like they should go to work anyway. They probably spend more money to get there than it's worth to make.
Yeah,
that's why
true.
a lot of the businesses are closing. And now what I fear is going to happen is people are going to reach out to like predatory lenders. People like not banks and getting business loans from, like merchant cash advances and things like that. And they're going to get themselves in over their heads because, like you said, they're not having any revenue coming in. They're going to take out these loans with 30, 40, 50% interest rates and they're going to get screwed out of desperation. And
Some people are, but some places, like for us, they've been contacting us with lower interest rates, almost like a full point lower in interest. For us to refinance, that could be like $30,000 cheaper in interest over the course of like an entire loan. It all depends, but there are people that are hoarding toilet paper and trying to sell it.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for the day where the money that everyone's worried about making becomes obsolete in our society, because at the rate that it's going now, if no one's making any money, people are going to turn to other means to get the things that they need for survival, and money's just going to become an irrelevant a part of our society. And it's kind of scary to think of it like that, because we've been operating with this idea for hundreds of years, and now people are just going to be like, nope, we're not doing it. I'm just going to go dig a hole in the yard and drink some water out of the ground.
Joe, we're not going into that again. You cannot dig a hole in your backyard.
I'm just
and
saying,
drink the water. It's not safe.
You got to be prepared for the worst kind of scenario. You just got to plan for it.
Just put a jar of water in your fridge and freeze it.
No, I definitely agree that people are not prepared. Like if you dropped like any one of us into the wilderness right now, like with the shirts on our backs, like I wouldn't know what plants I could eat. I mean, I know that like I'd have to boil my water before I drank it. Like I know the basics, but like I don't think I'd survive too long. Like maybe like a couple weeks, but like eventually like a month in, I'd probably like starve to death or who knows, die of, you know, anything out there. But yeah, man, it's fortunately, I don't think that it's going to get that bad because, like I said, like we have been preparing, like as a country and as you know, the world has been preparing for pandemics since like the 70s. Like we have plenty of contingency plans where you can see them actively enforcing them right now. So we know that like they have a plan. You know what I mean? It's not like this is everybody's just going willy nilly, but it is just the first time we had to enact everything. So
You hope they have a plan. That's a realistic thing. You
Well-
hope they have a plan.
I'm looking
No,
at
you-
like this whole thing. I mean, we've had worse. There's been worse pandemics than this that we've been alive for, and they've never treated it this way. So there might be something they're not saying, they're not telling anybody, or they're just blowing it out of proportion, because like the swine flu affected way more people and is more dangerous. Just like SARS, believe it or not, is actually a version of the coronavirus that's going on now. It's just a different version, and it actually has a higher death rate. And those things were more dangerous than this coronavirus that's happening now, but yet they're treating it so differently than they treated, you know, all the other ones.
it spreads faster and easier.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
remember they
that's
said
why.
10 times faster than influenza.
Yeah, it's spread. Dude, like it's been like a week and a half and it's already engulfed the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's everywhere. But fortunately, it only has that 2% mortality rate. The thing is like people are like, oh, 2%, that's a small number. Well, there's 300 million people here in the United States, if I believe. I might be wrong on the number. We'll just pretend it's 300 million. So 300 million, 2% of 300 million, that's what, 6 million?
That's
6 million
about- yeah.
people?
We established last night
6
as
million.
well that Joe cannot do math. So we're going to avoid all of that.
which is
Yeah,
scary
but, like,
because I teach
So
it.
let's just say like 6 million people. Let's just say my math is correct, but it's some number like that. But like 6 million people die like from that here in the country. Like that's almost as much as what happened in the Holocaust. Like
That's right.
it's a big freaking number. And if it's spreading to everyone in the world, what's 2% of 7 billion people? I don't even want to do that math right now, but it's
11?
it's a lot of people.
That's 140 million people.
I was going to say at least 11.
That's
Solid.
140 million people would die.
Yeah.
That's
So it's a
absurd.
big number. It's
No,
a big number.
sorry.
And that's why it's so.
Yeah.
That's why it's so. And people after watching this definitely fact check our numbers, do your own math, put it in the comments if it's wrong. But we know just off of basic logic that's a big number, and I do think that that's why everybody's so concerned, and that's why everybody is locking things down, because it's clearly spreading to everybody. So definitely
Now-
something to worry
Now,
about.
does anyone here know anyone that's been affected by this thing?
So my wife's coworker was at a party with one of the confirmed cases here in New Jersey. They haven't confirmed that she has it yet. She just went in for testing today, but she's self-quarantined herself, and that's the closest in-home, like closest to home case I've come encounter with. But
That's kinda
no, everybody
scary.
in my family's pretty good right now.
Okay.
I know somebody at work has been at home with like 104 fever for a couple of days. But that's about it.
Wow. That sucks.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
104 fever for a couple of
Yeah,
days.
that's
That's not good.
Yeah. And they said that you're not allowed to come back until HR approves you coming back. So who knows how long he's going to be out.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
So we were talking about like solutions for people, what they could do financially to better their situation during this crazy time. You know, like obviously like the government can only do so much. You know, and right now they're gonna have a hard time collecting money from people if people aren't making any money. But you know, it's like people could still make money. There are ways to make money.
All right. This just in, coronavirus. The French President Macron suspends rent, taxes, and utilities for all French residents.
Wow.
Hold on, I gotta pull up a tab.
And then right underneath that, it was the social distancing world champ, Bigfoot.
Yeah, I saw that one too. Winner.
Bigfoot's safe.
Oh,
Nobody
man.
can find this guy. He's like, coronavirus? I got all of them beat. Any pandemic is out of my reach.
Paris was telling me yesterday that they closed the border for Canada. I mean, Russia closed all its borders. Like, I don't know. But it comes full circle around to the topic of what Joe and I were thinking about today. Are we doing what's best right now? Do we have enough knowledge of what's going on? Like, is this really serious? Should we be doing more? Should we be doing less? Should we be quarantining, like, more severe? Or should we just be living our normal lives because, you know, we don't have all the information?
Sorry, didn't mean to share my screen just there.
That's okay.
It's all good. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, are we handling this the best way that we possibly could? As individuals and as, like, a group?
I think as a group, as a nation, I think the government's doing pretty much as they can without enforcing anything. I think as individuals, a lot of people are not taking it as seriously as it needs to be taken. And I definitely have, you know, when I had gone out to the store, saw people hugging and shaking hands, and it's, you know, but it's hard to do. Like, even during this, you know, podcast, I've touched my face probably like 15 times. Like,
same here.
It's very, very hard to be, like, aware of constantly, especially if you're one of those social butterflies who's, you know, has to be around people. I mean, introverts are loving this right now, but, you know, people who have to interact with the public, they need to be very careful.
Okay, so in a week, say you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you regret the past 2 weeks of being cautious and doing everything you did, or do you wish that you would have done more, even and you just ended up with it anyway?
Yeah, I mean that's one of those rough scenarios. Like, I mean, the way I would probably think of it is that I wasn't careful enough,
Mm-hmm.
and I should have really, like, locked things down and maybe, like, gotten out of South Amboy.
Right. So are you
town.
taking
So,
it
like,
serious enough? Are you not? Like, there's so many questions that you can ask about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Joe, you know, goes out and, you know, fights the nature of everything just to get his Starbucks every day. I mean, is that necessary, Joe?
Well, I go, really, the only thing I'm going to is really Starbucks and to the grocery store just for stuff right now. But that's about it. And Starbucks is on, like, super lockdown. They wipe everything down every 10 minutes. Not a lot of people are going into Starbucks. Like, the drive-thru at Starbucks is, like, packed. So I just go in, grab what I'm getting, and I leave. And everything, they're, like, super sanitary there. Obviously, I'm not using the bathroom there. But, and I did buy a bunch of coffee to make at home, so I can have coffee at home. If it even escalates any worse than it is, at least I'll be covered for, like, a couple weeks with coffee, and so I don't have to.
See, priorities.
Priorities, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now,
like,
come
are
on,
you
there's
being
coffee
cautious
drinkers out
enough?
there.
Like,
There's coffee drinkers out there that will take that necessary step.
okay, listen. I'm one of the fortunate people that have to start my shift at 6 a.m. There's people that I work with that, like, they have 2 cups of coffee and then they switch to Monster. Like, people are so dependent on those things. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Absolutely ridiculous. Like, go to sleep earlier or something like that. I don't know. I don't think it's one of those things that are completely necessary to complete your day. Like, have to have it before, you know, I can talk to anybody or anything like that.
No, I drink like 1 cup, maybe 2 cups a day. 2 cups is the most. I rarely ever drink a third unless, like, some kind of social thing, which obviously is not happening right now. But sometimes, like today, I didn't even get my first cup of coffee, my only cup of coffee, until like about 11 o'clock today. something like that, or something. It's not
So then why'd
necessary.
you have it? Was it even necessary for your day? Why did you have it?
Well, one thing is I wanted to have Trinity go outside for a little bit. She's been locked up in the house for days, and just to have her go outside, kids need to go outside, man. I know there's a pandemic going on and people are sick and stuff, but it's like kids need the fresh air. They need the sunlight. They need the oxygen. It's like, I have a backyard. I can have them go in the backyard. It's pretty safe. No one's around, but
Yeah.
But what?
I get it, man. I get it.
yeah, but it's like everything. They're making everything sound like a risk. And actually, I'm in the county. I live in the county that has the highest number of cases in New Jersey, which I found out today. I was like, holy crap! Bergen County is number one in coronavirus cases in New Jersey. And what county are you in, Anthony?
Man, I'm Middlesex.
Middlesex. Okay, I don't know anything about them. I just know that Monmouth County had like one death and like maybe about 20 cases, and then mine has about 80, and I think 7 people died here from it.
It was something yesterday. I forget exactly what it was about people that were dying in Monmouth County.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember the number of exactly how many people it was, but they were dying in Monmouth.
Yeah, but this is nuts. It's like, but one thing is that I think everyone here knows that the news is basically just bad information. Like the news is always bad news. They rarely ever report good news, no matter what. They're always saying something negative. It's always negative. It's always been like that. I remember when I was a kid, I came up with an idea of like, you know what? I'm going to make a newspaper. I'm going to call it the Good News, because the news they always say bad stuff on the news. That's why I never liked watching the news.
Yeah.
Kids are so positive, and I think one of the reasons why kids are so positive is because they don't watch the news. It's boring to them, and it's just negative.
I know that's why they stopped having like puppies and cats and stuff on the news.
No, they tried to slip that in there. I remember that when I was a kid. They tried to slip like these little cute segments in towards the end of the newsreel. And they're like, oh, and, we pet puppies today. And look at all the cute kittens. And 3 died in a fire today. The cause of the fire is unknown.
Puppies.
Puppies. The cause of the fire? Puppies.
Yeah.
Two are being held in detainment right now. One's being questioned.
All right, Joe, are you ready?
Yes,
Are you ready for that time of the Chuck Norris fun facts?
Okay, so Anthony, you're our guest
Yes.
today. We need from you your favorite or your best Chuck Norris joke.
Chuck Norris once did a roundhouse kick so fast that it went back in time, broke the speed of light, and killed Amelia Earhart as she flew over the Pacific.
Did you prepare one, Joe?
I
No,
mean,
you didn't.
All right,
Chuck
Ben, what
Norris-
you got? I
Chuck
got.
Norris once farted in an elevator with a beautiful woman, and she apologized for it. Oh yeah.
Good.
Chuck Norris's PIN number is the last 4 digits of pi.
Nice.
That was good. That was good.
See? There's 2 for you, Joe.
Nice. All right, I like it. Let's see.
And
Damn, you got me today. Uh-oh.
It's not like we do it every single time.
No, never. No, I'm blanked out on him.
Chuck Norris once walked his dog in Boston and won the marathon.
See, I'm doing this all off the top of my head. You're like pulling out your phone, like, oh, Chuck Norris jokes. What do I got? Chuck Norris jokes. I'm not pulling out my phone. I had it ready and queued up because I knew what we were doing. See, but you had it. See, I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I can just say, man, I got nothing. What the heck? All right, I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. Someone rescue me.
Chuck Norris can milk ground beef from a cow.
There you go. Now we're talking.
Win.
Chuck Norris later caught the coronavirus, but Chuck Norris caught the coronavirus, but later decided to let it go. And then somebody underneath is like, not true. He wouldn't leave an enemy alive.
There you go. Actually, you know, Chuck Norris, when he does push-ups, he's actually pushing the earth down.
Yes. Yes.
Nice. All right.
So, well, hold
till
on.
next
One
time,
time,
gentlemen.
I got one time.
Oh,
Chuck Norris
okay.
decided to take a jump into the Pacific Ocean. It resulted in the Japanese tsunami of 2012.
you sure there was a tsunami in 2012?
Google it.
Oh man. All right.
God.
Till next time. This has been.
And this is Joe.
You guys have a good
Anthony.
night. Oh.
Yeah. And Anthony, thank you for coming on and talking about this craziness that's going on out there. You guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It was definitely fun.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. Until next
Yeah.
time.